Hi, I'm Rebecca Vasile. Today we're going to work on hip slides with some Pilates and some dance movements. We're going to start warming up our hips, and then we're going to take it down to the floor and really refine the muscular movements that hip slides come from. And then we're going to take it up and we're going to try it dancing. At the end we'll have a little layering challenge, so we'll start off nice and slow and gradually work our way up. Hope you enjoy. Let's start with your feet right below your hip joints. And actually, let's find our hip joints. So starting right above your kneecap, you're going to trace your femur all the way up to where it joins at the pelvis. Massage that area a little bit and start to march your legs up and down, feeling where your hip flexor can contract and stretch. Good. Now let's try plies. Keeping your back straight, you're going to bend at the knees, sticking your booty out, allowing your legs and your pelvis to separate. And now going forward, keeping the legs straight, back straight, neck in the same line, looking down at the floor when you bend forward. Good, and let's try it with marching. Lifting the left leg and right leg and left leg, warming up all the little muscles and joints around the pelvis, and plying again. When you straighten, try to stretch that front of your hips a little bit more, contracting in your gluteus. Good, and sliding forward. Last set. Lengthening as you straighten up, feeling as though the top of the femur is just gliding inside your pelvis. Good. Now you should feel a little bit looser in your hips. These are really great exercises for those of you with tight hips. Slowly, we'll roll down to the floor one vertebrae at a time, allowing the whole upper body to just relax and hang. Shake your head no, nod your head yes, and then slowly take it down to the floor in the way that's the most comfortable for you. Now we're going to lie down on the floor with your feet hip distance apart, flat on the floor, and your knees bent towards the ceiling. We're going to start laying in neutral position. And to find neutral position, we're going to make a triangle with our hands. Now you're going to lay this triangle down right on top of your pelvis so that the fingertips touch your pubic bone and the palm of your hand or your wrist is on your hip bones or your iliac crests. Make sure your triangle is parallel to the floor. This will allow usually for a little bit of space between your lower back and the floor, so we're keeping the natural curve of the spine. Once you've found your neutral position, you may lay your arms down at your sides. We're going to start by inhaling and expanding the belly, tilting the pubic bone towards the floor, and exhale, contracting the belly and erasing all of the space between your back and the floor. Every time you inhale, you're going to expand that lower belly as much as possible, and every time you exhale, rocking the pelvis back, you're going to place all of the vertebrae on the floor. And inhale, expand, and exhale, contract. Tilting the pubic bone towards the floor, relaxing the face and the neck. Now slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time into bridge. Inhale at the top, and exhale as you slowly roll down. We're going to keep this pattern going. So inhale, tilting the pubic bone towards the floor. Exhale, pull the belly button into the spine, rolling up one vertebrae at a time into a perfectly straight bridge. Inhaling at the top and exhaling and slowly rolling down. Again, inhale and exhale. Slowly roll it up. And when you inhale at the top, try to keep your chest still down and tilt your pubic bone up towards the ceiling just a little bit higher before you roll all the way back down. Checking to make sure that you have your neutral spine again with your little triangle. Now we're going to do our bridge going straight up without any roll, keeping the neutral spine the whole way. Inhale, pushing into the balls of the feet, lift the hips up. And exhale, lowering the hips towards the floor. Inhale, lifting the hips up, nice and even, trying to keep the knees straight, relaxing the face, and down, and up. Holding it here, We're going to look down at both of our hips and make sure that they're even. There's walls on both sides. And now as if there's a rope pulling your hips to the side, you're going to slide like a typewriter back and forth. This exercise is called typewriter in Pilates. Sliding to the right and sliding to the left. Good. Imagine that rope pulling your hips over to the right and pulling it over to the left, keeping the chest perfectly still. Double check that you still have those two walls, and right and left, and right and left. Feel all those little muscles, all your obliques working in there and speeding it up, right and left and right and left and right and left. Slide, 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 slide. And now slowly inhale up and exhale, roll it down. Good. And nice and relaxed, help yourself up in whatever way is comfortable for you. Okay, great. Now let's start standing with our feet right underneath our hip joints. We're going to stand up nice and tall, shoulders down, slight bend in the knees. And let's lengthen the back down towards the floor, so the tailbone is pointing towards the floor, shoulders down. And you're going to imagine like your rib cage is a balloon and your spine is the string. So your rib cage is just floating up here, and we're going to keep it nice and still though. So we're going to keep this exactly in the same spot, and now you're going to start by sliding your hips over to the right. Good. If you need to, hold your hands on your rib cage and then slide your hips over to the left. And slide your hips over to the right. Good. And slide them over to the left. Great. Now arms in second. We're going to go over to the right for 2 and left for 2. And you want to try to keep that internal feeling that you had on the floor. So you're feeling your obliques contract and you're feeling them stretch on both sides. You're feeling the inside. And your pelvis is just gliding back and forth. Nice soft knees. Good. And left and right and left and right and left and right and left and right for 4. Remember to breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Relax. Now let's try it with music. So you're going to feel like there's a rope on your hip, and it's pulling you side to side, just straight side to side. No bending, staying horizontal to the ground, keeping the rib cage in the same spot. Right and left, and right, and left, and right, and left. Left, right, left, speeding it up. And right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Just try walking with it. In 4, 3, 2, 1. And walk forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left, and back. And right, left. Slide, 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 slide. Forward. Keeping those knees bent back. Good, let's try. Right, left, hold on the right foot. Left, right, left foot. So it's right, left, slide, right, left, right, slide, left, going back. It's right, left, slide, right, left, right, slide, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Adding arms and right, left,